Happy 2019! This is Jen from Delicious Threads, and today is January 11th, 2019. I fully intended to record another video before 2018 ended, and that just did not happen. We hosted Thanksgiving, and then I was doing Christmas crafting, and then it was Christmas, and then my sister and her family were visiting, and then it was New Year's Eve, and then it was the New Year, and then it was trying to get back to normal life, so FlossTube just didn't fit in there. I also didn't really stitch all that much, so I don't have a lot to show you. This will probably be a short-ish video, but I didn't want to put it off too much longer because it's been 2 months since I recorded. And things just build up if you wait too long, and then it gets weird because I don't remember how to FlossTube. So I did some, like I said, Christmas crafting. I make stockings for our whole family, and if I can find a picture, I will post it or put it here. And so each person in the family has a handmade stocking by me, and they all kind of have a similar color scheme, like dark green, light green, red, and white. And my son's first year, that was the year I made stockings for everybody. So whoever was around that year, I made a stocking for. And everybody's names are hand embroidered. And I just keep adding to my stockpile of Christmas fabrics so that I have a bunch to choose from when it's time to make a new stocking. So this year, or last year, my sister had a baby, so I had to make a stocking for him. And then I knew that another sister was about to get engaged, and usually the rule is that you don't get a stocking until you get married. So I have only sisters, so you have to marry into the family and then you get your stocking. But my sister and her boyfriend have been together for, I think, like 8 years, and he's awesome, very committed, and very excited that he helped me organize the proposal, which was a big surprise for her. She had no idea. And so I wanted to surprise him because it's been like an ongoing thing for years. Like, oh, you don't get your stocking until, you know, you guys get married. And so he's had like this really cheap acrylic fuzzy green stocking for years. And there's always this joke in the background about like, oh, if you want your stocking upgrade, you know what you need to do. So I made his stocking as well. I actually didn't make it until after Christmas. They got engaged on December 30th. And so I had it made and ready to go after their engagement. We all went out to dinner, and so I like gave it to them as their engagement gift. So I made 2 stockings. And then I made some like little gifts. I made some like bowl cozies that you put a bowl in for the microwave so that you can take it out and your hands don't get burned. I actually need to make those for myself too because I've been needing to microwave a lot of stuff. I don't know, soup is really good during the winter, so I need to make some of those for myself too. And then for stitching, I didn't really do that much. I stitched a little bit on 2 projects. I had no finishes at all for the end of the year, at least since the last video. And yeah, I don't know. This year, I think I've only stitched 1 time, and it was a tiny little bit before deciding that I probably counted wrong and need to take out what I stitched. So, so far in 2019, stitching has not gone well. But I don't know. I'm like missing things. I have stuff I want to show you guys. There we go. Yeah, like this. The end of the year was just a lot of fun, full of family and hanging out and exciting things happening. So my sister did get engaged. It was a big surprise for her. We went and did a family escape room, and we beat it this time. We did one 2 years ago and we failed, and then even with lots of hints and a little extra time, but this time we did not need any hints and we finished it in 33 minutes. We had an hour, so we did it in like half the time. And then at the end, after we won, we had to go back through to a different room, and my now brother-in-law was waiting down on one knee to propose to my sister, and she was surprised, and it was amazing. So that was a highlight of the holidays. And then another highlight is I have a different sister who is pregnant with her first child, and so she let the family know on Christmas night. So lots of exciting things that happened in my family the last 2 months. That also means that I now get to make things for a new baby, and I get to help my sister plan her wedding and all the other fun stuff that goes along with that. So I'm excited. Let's see. Stitching. You want to see some of that, right? Let's do that. Okay, I only stitched on 2 things. I stitched on my Steotchalong, and I did not finish. I don't remember where I was last time I showed you this, but I did stitch a lot more. It's like stuff flying around. Still really love my colors, and I don't like any of the endings. So by now you've probably seen how this ends. This is home, and then the whole thing says home is where the, so this is the end of the, and then there are some options for what you could fill in there that are already charted, and then of course you can always do your own thing. I didn't like any of the choices, so I'm gonna have to figure out what I want to put here, and I think that not being excited about the options that are already charted made it so that I didn't really have the desire to stitch on it in that moment. And then, of course, it got busy, so I probably wouldn't have been stitching even if I was super excited about it. So I still love the way this looks, and I do plan to finish it. I just don't know how I'm going to finish it. And that's just stitched in DMC on Pictures Plus Jazz. The other thing I worked on is Lunation by Ink Circles, and this is what the pattern looks like. And if you remember, I'm converting this using all color and cotton. They're color and cotton threads that I purchased at StitchCon. And this is a fabric by Leslie, by Under the Sea Fabrics. I can't remember what it's called. It's called Uplifting Currents. That's right, I do remember. So this is where I am right now. I don't remember exactly where I was last time you saw it. I think I just had a little bit of the orange started, and I think I was worried that I had counted wrong. I think when I went back, I did actually count right, and so I continued, and I started adding some of my second color. On the chart, this is actually 3 different colors, but I couldn't find a good in-between color when I was looking at the threads at StitchCon, and so I decided to just do 2. So reading the chart, I've noticed it's kind of confusing sometimes because I'm trying to do 2 different symbols for this orange that I chose. And so I have to remind myself over and over again that I need to stitch all of those, or I don't stitch these ones. So it takes a lot more thinking than I thought it would. And I stopped stitching because I got up to here, and it's not lining up with this moon phase the way it should on the pattern. And I know it's my fault. And what I did was I changed the way the earth is shaped, because on the pattern it's very angular, and I didn't like that. So I wanted it to be more like a globe, so rounder. God, why am I having so much hard time? There, sort of. So after I did that, I had to reposition the moons around it so that they would still be spaced correctly. I think I actually added some stitches to the moons too. I might be wrong. I don't remember. So now it's not really matching up, and I just stopped there so I can figure out what I'm gonna do. I might go to like the top and start stitching down and see if I can just fudge it and make it meet and look good. So this was a start with Abby, Top Knot Stitcher. She finished hers, and it got me motivated to stitch on mine again, and I was really excited, and I was hoping this would be a 2018 finish, but alas, it is not. So this year. So those are only 2 projects I stitched on in the last 2 months. my goals for this coming year are do whatever the hell I want. So I am not doing formal stitch from stash. I kind of have an informal one with some friends where we just keep track of spending and stuff, but it's not, there are no prizes or anything, and it's just kind of for your own knowledge. Honestly, I haven't been spending that much money on stitching stash, partially because my excess in spending has gone to other crafts. So maybe I should be keeping track of that stuff instead. No. So I'm not really worried about where I end up on a stitch from stash sort of budget because I'm not really spending a lot. But I do really want to finish things, and if like seeing a number $ attached to finishes is another motivator to finish things, like that's fine, but I'm not doing the formal one. I'm not doing Year of Whips. Last year I was really bad about updating my albums and stuff, and I don't know, I like the idea of being held accountable for things, or to like try to motivate yourself to finish, but I don't want added pressure like, oh, I need to do these things, I need to post a certain time, I need to take all these pictures. Like, I just want to sit down and stitch and enjoy myself. So I don't want to put any rules on there. Toward the end of last year, I also just stopped doing any of the like Steotchalong type things, or the like challenges and all of that. I don't usually have the time to just like drop everything and stitch for a weekend, so I'm not really able to do those. Or like, I like the idea of encouraging you to stitch, or encouraging you to pull out projects that maybe you haven't been working on that you would like to work on. But I can't keep track of all the things, and it ended up just feeling like, feeling like I was missing out by seeing other people doing stuff, and like, oh, I wish I was doing that too. Oh, but I don't really have the time. And then just like feeling like, oh, that kind of sucks. Like, it doesn't really matter. It's all just to be fun and encouraging. So that's not going to be fun and encouraging for me, so I'm not going to do any of those. What else? I'm not doing no starts. I'm going to start something if I want to start something. I'm not doing stitch from stash. If I want to buy something, I want to buy something. I do have the desire to finish some things, and so I'm just gonna stitch on whatever I feel like stitching on and try to finish some stuff. I have a few things that I finished last year that have not been fully finished, like FFO'd. I would really like to do that, especially since some of them were gifts and they're still like not framed or anything. I'm like, here is your gift. Now I'm gonna take it back and I'm gonna frame it for you. And then I never do it. So I feel kind of bad about that. So those are, that I have 2 of those, one project for each of my parents that I gave them and then took back. And I think actually my mom's, I have had it for a year and a half and haven't framed it for her. So if I'm going to have any goals that I'm like, this is my goal, it's to frame those 2 things. Other than that, like, I don't know. It's okay if it sits in a box for now. If I'm not in a mood to finish things, that's okay. What else? I really did like the wheel of projects, and to like spin and get a random project to start. I did like that. I did use my wheel quite a bit. I used it for Dark October stitching, and then I had another one that had a whole bunch of projects that I'd like to start that I have all the stuff for already. And so that was fun, and I might do that again. I might go ahead and just put all of my projects in there, and if there's a day where I'm just like, I don't know what to stitch, I might spin it and be like, okay, and if I don't want to stitch the thing that comes up and I spin like 6 times, that's cool too. But, you know, it's just a tool to get you excited, so I might do that. That was kind of fun. But yeah, I'm not doing any rule stuff. I'm just gonna do what I feel like doing. Going along with that, at the beginning of the last couple of years, I've picked a word of the year, and I know other people have talked about this too, and I think I talked about it last year. And so I picked a word for this year, but I feel like all of my words kind of cover everything that I would like to focus on for a year. Some people pick, like, it feels like more specific things, but I just don't. You coming up? Might have a kitty friend. It's gonna get white fur all over my black shirt. That's okay. So I think this is the 4th year that I've had a word of the year. My first year, it was finish. And I obviously still have that problem. I wanted to finish all the projects I had started. I wanted to finish things that I was trying to do health-wise. You know, I wanted to finish all those things I had started and never finished before. Then my second year, it was organize, because I've always wanted to like really declutter the house and get things organized. And I feel like that kind of did the same thing that finish did, because the decluttering and the organization, those were all like whips or things that I had been working on for a long time. And I kind of felt like, well, if I get my stuff organized, I won't have to spend as much time cleaning, and then, you know, I'll have more time to work out when I say I don't have time to work out. And so it kind of still fit all of the things I wanted to do. And then last year I picked progress. And in my mind, progress is a good word, because many times it's easy to just like focus on what you want the end product to be, what you want to have at the end of doing a bunch of hard work or working out and all that. And it's easy to lose sight of like the progress part of it. And any little bit that you do makes a difference. And progress is important. And progress should be celebrated too. So I was like, progress, that's perfect, because it still covers all the things that I want to do. And, you know, it's motivating, like I'm making progress. And so then this year, I was just gonna keep progress, or not even really pick a word. And my friend Helga picked the word joy. And I was like, joy is perfect. Like, there are so many times I feel like I just doing things that I have to do, doing my adulting, things that I feel required to do for like volunteering for school, or October was hard. I was really excited to volunteer, but there were just so many things that were required as part of the volunteering that I was doing that it felt overwhelming, and then it didn't feel as good when I needed to be doing things, and didn't feel, I wanted to feel excited to be doing the things, and I wasn't. And so like I lost some of the joy of the activities, doing things with the kids, like when you constantly have to be picking up the same crap every single day, when you're constantly having to nag to like get homework done, you like lose some of the joy that you should be having with your kids. Projects where it's like, I need to finish this, I need to finish this, and then you're not like enjoying just making that thing. So I thought joy was a good word that still worked for all of the things that I was trying to do. So if I get more organized, if I declutter, then I'll have more time to do things that I enjoy doing. I'll have more time to spend with my kids, instead of, okay, well, you guys, you can go like watch a movie because I have to clean like the entire house. Like, you know, if things are easier to do and to get things done quickly, then you have more time for other things. If I learn to say no to things and keep more time for myself, I will feel more joy in my life. So I thought joy is a good word. So I'm using that one for this year. And I still feel like it encompasses all of the things that I would like to have happen this year. I'm still working on health stuff. I, this week, have been getting up at 5:30 in the morning so that I can work out before the kids wake up, so I can work out and shower before the kids wake up. Because I have been telling myself for years, really, but we'll just say last year, that, oh no, I'm totally going to be able to find time more. The kids are in school more often, or they're in school for longer days. I'm going to be able to find time during the day, or I'll work out at night. And then it just keeps getting put off and put off and put off. And I know now, really, the only way I will get a workout in is if I wake up before the day really starts and I have to start momming, and just do it. So I've been doing that this week and got up at 5:30 in the morning, work out, shower, done before the first kid wakes up, and then we have to start the routine. And it has been nice because I don't feel guilty all day long about how I didn't work out. It's done, and now I can sit down and read a book, or I can do some stitching, or I can sew at the sewing machine, or I can watch crappy TV. At the end of the night, I don't have to tell myself, oh, I really should be working out. I can watch some TV or just hang out with my husband, and then I've been having to go to bed earlier, but you know, I'm not sitting there all day long thinking about how I should be working out because it's already done. So I'm not a morning person. I hate waking up at 5:30 in the morning, but it's been working, and I hope I can keep it up because I think it's the only way I'm going to be successful in keeping a workout routine. So fingers crossed. Let's see. Oh, I do have another goal for this year. Okay, my family likes to be cozy. We have blankets like all over. We've got a storage ottoman with blankets in it. We've got linen closets with blankets in them. All the beds have like an extra blanket. Everybody likes to cuddle up on the couch with blankets. And so I decided that it would be really fun if I just had a cupboard full of quilts that are available for people to use when they come to visit. They don't get to take them home because they're still mine, but you get to use a quilt when you're here. So for Black Friday, I found a deal and got an entire roll of cotton batting, and I have a fairly extensive fabric stash already, but I did allow myself to get some fabric bundles because I just like how when you get fabric bundles, they're all color coordinated and everything, because I'm really not good about picking colors and things. So I allowed myself to get some of those. I got myself some nice thread to stitch with, and I started finding some patterns I wanted to sew up. So I started my first Quilt-Along. Up till now, I've made one full-size quilt, and it was like a tied quilt, so I didn't even like quilt it. And I have made one like baby crib-sized quilt, and then I've made a handful of mini quilts. So those are ones that are smaller, and usually you just like hang it on the wall as a decoration. And those were all for swaps, so I haven't even gotten to keep any of those. I made the baby quilt, I did keep, that's my older daughter's. And then the tied quilt, I actually made that when I was 18, and we still have it. It was a gift for my then boyfriend, now husband. And it's actually used to protect things that are stored under one of the beds. So it's being used, just not in a cuddly, comforting sort of way. I want to learn how to machine quilt, so that's something I haven't tried yet, and I'm really excited about that, and excited about having a cupboard full of quilts that I can use and other people can use. Like, I'm not planning to have these beautiful quilts that are displayed and nobody can touch. Like, I want people to be cuddling them and using them. So that is one of the things I'm doing this year, and I started my first Quilt-Along. The pattern is called I Heart You, and this is what the pattern looks like. And these are the fabrics that I am using. My hearts, instead of pink, they're going to be pinks and purples, and these are all fabrics that I already had in my stash. Some of them were scraps, some of them I cut from bigger chunks of fabric. I just need to use stuff I already have. And the speech bubble around it is going to be plain white, and then my background fabric, instead of the light pink like they had in the pattern, I am using an aqua solid color, and I think that's going to be really pretty. And I have already stitched up a bunch of the pieces, and they're sitting on my table. I need to trim and press those and keep soldiering on. And that Quilt-Along is just in the second week, so if you want to join in, you can. I'll leave info down below for that if you like to quilt and you want to do it. It's also a good beginner quilt, so if you are interested in trying it out, it might be a good one to start with. And there's lots of great inspiration on Instagram if you look at other people's projects that are under the hashtag. I think the hashtag is IHeartYouQuiltSewAlong, or IHeartYouSewAlong. I don't know. I'll put the hashtag down here so you can see it. So that is another big goal for this year. I also had a winter bag sale in my Facebook group, and it went really well. I sold a bunch of bags. I actually threw out my Harry Potter stuff too. So this is all I have left in my Harry Potter bags. I have 2 accessory-sized Quidditch bags. That's it. You guys like the Harry Potter. I have more Harry Potter fabric too, so I'm going to have another Harry Potter bag sale at some point. And then I had 3 different fabrics. I do have some of these left if you're super interested. Let me know, but I'm also thinking that I might have a Christmas in July bag sale where I'm going to spend some time over the next couple of months making Christmas bags, and then you'll be able to buy them early to store all of your Christmas projects. One of the fabrics I had was this green and pink tree fabric, and these, other than this bag, sold out, and it has like a gray with silver metallic. I did get more of this fabric, and I plan to make some more bags. Somebody requested a fabric only bag, so I'm going to make that. But these will show up again at some point. And then I also, it's a couple years old, and I found some on a de-stash site, so I got some more of the green. And then I also found some in this like red colorway, so I'm going to make some bags out of that one too. And then I have a handful of these ones left. This Aqua Santa, and it has the red inside. And I have the big and the small vinyls of those. And then my favorite of the winter fabrics is Winter Birds. And I have this one in fabric and vinyl. I love this one. I'm going to keep this one for myself, I think. And then inside, what did I put inside? I don't really know. Oh, it's like a cream with gold. It's hard to see. So I have that with fabric. I have the vinyl. Oops. So I have a few of those left. So you might see those pop up at some point. If you really want one, you could also message me. I am dropping things. Yeah. So still working on bags. I think I might put up some needle minders next. I have some like Valentine's Day ones, and like spring, I might just throw those all up. Right now I'm just trying to work through the ones that I already had. And I think I might, I don't know. I still want to make my own, and I just haven't gotten to that point yet. I think I need some new equipment. My stuff is not all that great anymore. I don't know. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot. NorCal Stitchers got together for a meetup. The Bee Sisters threw a Stitchy Christmas party, and it was so much fun. And if you're watching and you were there, it was so much fun. I'm so glad that we got to hang out. There were some people that I hadn't met before, and then of course there are people that I've hung out with before, and it was really nice to see them again. I was lame though. They did like a Stitchy Christmas gift exchange, and I don't know what I was thinking, but for some reason, like, oh, I thought we weren't doing this year. So I didn't bring anything, so I didn't get to participate in the like white elephant style exchange, which made me really sad. But I got to watch everybody, and it was fun watching all the steals happening and stuff. They were too nice to each other for the most part, though. But that was fun, and I think that might be the last thing. I don't know. Okay, so I think I'm going to wrap up this update. Sorry, it was a little bit all over the place, but 2 months is a long time to go without recording, and a lot of stuff happened, and I'm just really excited about the things that I'm working on right now. So, yeah, I'm going to keep stitching. I'm going to keep quilting, and until next time, happy stitching!